All right, we are back talking about part 3 of our location selection. And here we're kind of putting it all together. This is what I'm looking for and what I want to avoid. So I'm taking all the information that I learned from the first 2 parts and I'm putting it into this section here. I've learned what I want and now I'm going and I'm looking. I'm trying to find my sweet spot. I'm trying to find my perfect piece of property. Now again, this may be vacant land because you want to build. This may be an existing home that you want to convert into an assisted living. Maybe you want to do an addition on that, or it's an existing facility that is already licensed and has been an assisted living. You can use this for all 3 of these options. So here's what I'm starting at. As I'm looking in here, the first thing I want to do is I want to know, what do I want to build? I want to make this decision. Which one of these 3 ways do I want to go? Am I building new? Am I buying existing? What do I want to do? And sometimes I may just not know. It may be like, well, I'd really like to build new construction, but if the perfect property comes up, that's a house and I can do an addition and make it the way I want, maybe I'll do that. So if that's the case, some people know right off the bat, I'm only going to do this. Okay, great. Let's go down that checklist. But you may have options open. And I think it's better to keep all your options open. And when you find the right deal, you just know, you just jump on it. So as I'm going through, I'm going to make a decision. What do I want to build? Okay. Is my niche, am I gonna do a small 6-bed? Do I wanna do a 16 luxury? Do I wanna buy an existing 40 bed? What is it that I want? Determine what you wanna get and then let's implement here. So the first thing after I've decided what I wanna do, I'm gonna be looking at zoning, right? We talked through this already, that you went to the city, you talked to the county, whatever it is, that and you said, hey, here's what I wanna do in this county or in these 4 cities are my options. Here are my zoning options for what I can do, right? So you know what it is, and now you go on the city's mapping system, their GIS, and you're plugging in different addresses and you're learning where all the different zonings are, right? I want you to be able to know within 5 minutes. You see a property, you can drop it into the city's website, look at their mapping system, learn the zoning, and know right away, can you do this deal or not? A lot of times you can get on the city's website, on the GIS, and they'll have all the utilities. You can learn all that stuff. So there is a lot that you can do here. So I want to know the zoning first. And that's going to be my first thing. This is going to either pass to the next step or I'm going to drop it right away. I'm going to know right off the bat, can I do this deal in this spot based on the zoning? Right? Yes or no. And then I'm going to move on. And then while I'm there, I'm going to check the utilities. Or, if you're building new construction, this will be the most thing you need to consider. But if it's in an existing facility, no, you're probably not. It's already purpose built for that. You probably don't need to check so much right up front. There's going to be not really going to be a deal killer with the utilities. But if you're going to buy an existing home and you need to put in fire suppression, and that may be something you need, there may just not be a big enough water source there. So I'm going to check utilities. And then the third thing I'm going to look at is my land size. So again, what am I looking to do, right? If I'm building new construction, I might want 1 acre or 3 acres or 5 acres, right? If I'm going to build one big memory care mansion, then I'm going to want to be somewhere around in the 2 acre. All right, maybe I can get it in an acre. It'll depend on my utility situation, but maybe not. Maybe I might need 2.5, 3 acres. Right? If I want to build 2 memory care mansions, then maybe I'm looking at like a kind of a 2.5 to 5 acre section. Maybe I come across a perfect property, perfect spot, perfect price, and it's 8 acres. It's like, well, I only want to build one and then I'll build a second one later. And I'll just leave that extra acreage over there. That may pencil out for you, may be good. That's no problem. But too much will be okay. Too little may, cause you some heartache there. So as you're looking at new construction, that's what I'm looking at for land size. But what about for a house, right? If you're gonna buy an existing home, again, there's a lot of parking you will need when you're running one of these. When you talk about the amount of hospice and home health that comes, and they all come on the same time, during the week, and they're all doing their showers and everything, especially if you have, more than a few residents. If you're running a larger assisted living, you're gonna need a lot of parking, plus staff. And then once staff are overlapping, one shift is leaving, one shift's coming, plus you have a chef, plus you have a manager, then you have people visiting, then yourself. Like you may need a lot of parking there. You'll definitely need more than you think. Okay, so parking's something I definitely want to consider. So that will come back to how much land do I have? If I'm gonna buy an existing home, my little normal driveway is really not going to cut it, right? Like, where will I have the potentially 8, 10, 12, 15 cars on some parts of the week where everyone gets there at the same time and they all overlap? where will those people go then? Where will they park? So I'm checking that out, right? And I really think that, at least for what I like doing, if I'm gonna take an existing home and convert it, I still may wanna be on a bigger property, maybe, you know, half acre, an acre, and that allows me to have the vibe, the upscale, like I don't wanna feel commercial, right? Like I wanna feel like this boutique mansion, this custom built mansion, whether I'm starting from an existing home and doing addition or not, I still wanna have that impression of like this luxury and spaciousness, not like I'm surrounded by a parking lot. I don't wanna feel like this big corporate commercial feel. So I think that's what I consider. I'm not gonna buy something that's too small, right, as far as the land size. And then if I'm gonna go and go in the way of new construction, then I wanna look at the actual shape of the land, right? Like how much frontage is there on the road? Can I get enough view as people driving by, like from a marketing standpoint? Am I gonna have a nice gate or a sign or something there? Or is it like some weird kind of thing where I'm driving past my neighbor's property and then I open up in like kind of this key shape? Like I may not want some of those things, or maybe the shape is just facing the wrong direction, or it's too skinny and I can't get my building the way I want it. Because again, if you may have a purpose-built, you know, assisted living mansion, it may be very large, right? It may be huge and it may just not fit on a long, thin parcel.